Welcome to our 5 on 5. Please be joined by author Aria Zoner. He's the author of the Siskiyou Peaks Trail. We're talking about this pretty crazy story that happened on Mount Shasta a couple weeks ago, Aria. How did you get involved with this? A woman from Hawaii, Abilene Bushong, it was like a 38-day hike, and she was on Mount Shasta. She got hurt, and you got pulled into this. Explain all this.
Yeah, so I'm the author of the Siskiyou Peaks Trail. This is a national recreation trail proposal, so it's not an actual designated trail. This is a guidebook for a trail that I've created myself, pioneered myself. So what it is it leads to the highest point in 7 wilderness areas. So Abilene was on this trail just as a user. We had never met in person or anything, and she was on the 7th summit, the 7th wilderness high point. She was on her way down on day 38. Only had 14 miles left of her 448-mile journey. And was actually feeling the effects of the altitude. And she had spent the night up there. She was feeling really fatigued. She was also experiencing a little bit of snowblind because the conditions were so bright. So the combination of just the foggy vision and the foggy mind can really affect your navigation abilities, your coherency. So she got a little bit turned off track. And what at first seemed like just a small misstep, by the time she realized what she had done, became a complete commitment. And she had gotten herself stuck in a valley, and she wound up taking a spill and fell into a crevasse and needed to be rescued from a helicopter.
And she contacted you while she was up there?
Yeah, so while this was happening, I was at home working on the computer, and I got a message from her with a picture asking if she was in the correct place. And I couldn't tell because it just looked like snow and rocks. But immediately I was very concerned. But she was, miles from the nearest road, up on a 14,000-foot mountain, and I just prayed that everything was going to work out. I explained a few directions to her, pretty much what was in the guidebook, and then a few hours later, I got a message from her that she had been rescued from a crevasse.
Scary stuff.
Yeah, I was scared to say the least.
Yeah, and so as I understand it, obviously with your expertise on this stuff, this is not a beginner's hike.
And this is not a new issue. On the PCT alone this year, I looked into it, and just on the PCT alone this year, there's already been 9 evacuations, some of them for really what I would consider minor things. This situation that Abilene was in was life or death. She was not going to get out of this crevasse. She had fallen 20 feet off of a cliff and then slid into a crevasse with additional depths that she could have fallen into. She was clinging to prevent herself from falling, and she managed to get a bar on her phone, which wasn't even a fancy phone, it was just a Walmart phone. And that's how she was able to contact the responders. And the responders were already mobilized on the mountain about a mile away as the crow flies, rescuing a guy who had broke his leg.
Oh, incredible.
So they were able to get to her really quick, and she was literally clinging onto the wall to prevent from falling further.
Wow, who knows what would have happened if they weren't that close already. Well, we got a lot more to talk about with the safety of these.
Yeah, we call this trail magic. Yeah, she's lucky to be alive.
Indeed. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll have much more in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Aria Zoner, the author of the Siskiyou Peaks Trail. We're talking about this Mount Shasta rescue that happened a couple weeks ago. Abilene Bushong was she airlifted out, Aria?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So she was 14,000 feet, I believe you said. But she knew this was a serious hike. She wasn't in over her head. It just circumstances led to her being rescued.
No, actually, she's what we call a trail veteran. So she has successfully hiked numerous long-distance trails. So she had done the Pacific Crest Trail and the Pacific Northwest Trail. So she was looking for something a little bit more challenging, and that's what the Siskiyou Peaks Trail is by nature. But for other people, for future users, I think that they might not realize what kind of trails that they're getting themselves into, because currently the national trails and the national recreation trails, which I'm saying my book is a proposal for, a trail is just a trail. But that would be similar to going to a ski area and all you have is just a bunch of trails. Okay. We need green circles and blue squares and black diamonds.
Okay.
And for a lot of people, I feel like that they think that the PCT is the black diamond. But actually, the PCT is a green circle. If you can't hike the PCT, then you probably won't be able to do the more advanced routes, the more wild routes, which these proposed trails, these newer trails, more difficult trails, that's what they are. So I think that this accident really just highlights the need to have, within the designated trails of the National Trail System, to have some type of rating system that's similar to the ski area, where we can know based on the elevation, based on the waterless areas, based on the amount of resupplies and the distance, we can know how hard or how easy a trail is.
Yeah, well, it can be a very dangerous activity. We want people, the professionals, if you will, and the weekend warriors. We want everybody to be safe out there.
And it is relative to the individuals. You could be Black Diamond on your first day, or you may never want to ever go Black Diamond. This lady in particular was wanting to go Black Diamond. She wanted to test her skills. She got into an accident. The rescuers were there to save her. I think that that's their job, is they want to help people push humanity. They want to be there so that you can go outside of your comfort level and grow as a human, as an individual. And that's what she was doing. This was a real situation. But I know that these rescuers, sometimes they have to deal with fake rescues, but I can assure you that this lady was a life or death situation. She's extremely happy to be alive. She had an amazing hike, and she's going to continue to hike, which I think is a beautiful thing, because she wants to continue to increase her skills. But where it really fell for her was she was from Hawaii, and the altitude proved to be a little too much. She had the experience, she had the gear, the altitude.
Some things you can't necessarily prepare for as well.
You can't.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about that. And once you're there, you can't just turn around.
It might be a longer way out. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you breaking it down for us. Good to see you. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.